What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Scouting Combine here on the Five Reasons Sports Network. Today, I'm joined with my co-host Eric. Eric, how we doing today, my guy?
Hey, not too bad. I know you guys down in Florida don't want to hear about anybody complaining about heat, but it's down to 85 here. It's been pretty brutal here lately, so enjoying some
Yeah,
nice weather.
it's atrocious. We also got dengue virus breaking out here in Florida, which is kind of scary, but it happens with the heat and a lot of rain, a lot of puddles and rainwater just left over. Mosquitoes like to basically latch on to us. But we're not here to talk about a health violation happening in the state of Florida. What are we here to talk about today, Eric?
Yeah, so today taking a look at De'Von Achane, looking at some of the stuff that we can hope to see from him in the upcoming season, looking at some of the different ways that Miami used him last year that hopefully we can see them expand on here in 2024.
Of course, let's go ahead and get into the very first play, Eric.
Yeah, so on this play, we have Achane. He's in a single back formation, the pistol. One of the things that we expect them to do with Achane a lot going forward is to use him both as a running back and also in that F position that we discussed on a previous podcast. So on this play, we're going to get a motion called zoo orbit, which is where the Z comes across the formation and then goes into an orbit motion. And then the play that we're going to get is going to be a inside zone to the right side. On this play, Achane does a really good job. He's a smaller guy and known for his speed, but his vision and his willingness to take it through the middle is something I think is really underrated. And I think that he shows good vision in being able to find that crease, and also when he makes his cuts, he doesn't slow down, and that's why he's able to take a play like this and finish in the end zone even with some contact.
All right, let's get into the play call breakdown right here. We know we're in 21 personnel. The play call is east, right, snug, zoo, orbit. And based on this play call, what this means is it's 21 personnel. The F player or the F position in this play right here is going to be Alec Ingold. And as you stated, the formation is east, right, snug. So we have basically the players really hugging towards the line of scrimmage and towards the offensive line, which I assume is why it's called snug, unless you have something else terminology
That's
wise.
exactly
Eric.
what it is.
That's exactly what it is. And you mentioned the zoo orbit is basically the motion. The zoo is the Z player, which is Tyreek Hill, who is going to be motioning. And then right after the orbit is going to be the orbit motion, where he basically just comes back around. So right here, we have everyone hesitating to see where the ball is going to be going to. We know it's a run play. There you go. He sees the hole, cuts back, and as you said, he doesn't stop his speed. He just continues moving forward. And that's the good thing about De'Von Achane, because he just doesn't stop. He's able to hit those holes, find those cutback lanes, find those creases as well, and he's able to gain some yardage on that. All right, here we go. This next play right here is 11 personnel, and they're in what I believe is a 3-by-1 look.
Yeah,
No.
so they have
Yes.
a variety of 3-by-1 formations. Some of them can be kind of hard to identify because they can add some other words to it for one player to, be the guy that's on the line of scrimmage, or one guy to be inside or outside. So this one we just listed as a 3-by-1 formation, meaning 3 receivers to one side and 1 receiver to the other.
All right, this is actually the right play right here. Here we go. We are in 11 personnel with a 3-by-1 look over here, over to the right side of the offensive formation. And this play right here is called Big Fly, and it is going to be a crack toss. Eric, what does the Big Fly terminology mean?
So the big fly is a motion that they use, and that's going to tell the Y to start out lined up outside of the numbers, and then he's going to motion into his formation.
So this is the Y right here, is which
Yep.
is
So this is No, the Y is the tight end.
Oh, right here, Durham Smith. Here he is.
Yep.
Perfect.
So, like what they're in now is the formation. I wasn't able to find the proper terminology for this 3-by-1 formation, but the motion tells Smythe that he is starting outside of the numbers when they come out of the huddle, and then he's going to motion into the formation. It's just another way to create motion in this offense where they're still getting back to the same formation that they're calling, but they're
Right.
doing something pre-snap to try to get the defense to show what they're doing. And in this case, when the corner goes out with Smythe and then motions in, it's a decent indicator that they're going to be in a zone coverage because they're not necessarily matching up man to man unless everybody starts bumping over.
Right.
But it's just another way for the McDaniel offense to, force the defense into showing their hand early.
Right. Again, there's the motion right here. I go ahead, start. He's all the way from the top, and he's big flying, basically. He's flying over to the motion point where he needs to go. Ball is snapped, and we'll stop right there. We can see the offensive line and basically moving the entire line of scrimmage over to the right-hand side. And you can see Durham Smythe come over in motion, and he's going to chip this edge player trying to fill the gaps. The cool thing about this play is that Miami ran a lot of outside zones, outside crack tosses as well. And this is, again, another crack toss play, which De'Von Achane was really, really successful for because of how fast he is and how he uses his speed to get over to the outside. We'll see it right here. You can see a player bursting right here. I think that's I don't know who number 99 is on the Buffalo Bills right here, but we can see him get across and try to catch Achane. Doesn't even get him. And look at the vision right here. He knows the defensive player, the defensive lineman is coming. He just uses his speed, finds the hole, and shifts his body over this way, so that way the defensive lineman cannot move laterally, much faster than he can. And it's a pretty big play, pretty big running play right here. Where is it? This hole right here, Eric. I mean, is it for a running back outside of De'Von Achane? Is it normal to burst through the hole and gain that much yardage?
No, I mean that's another thing that makes Achane special is his ability to make those cuts and see the play on the move. A lot of times you'll see, the fast guys, they'll start to overrun that and then, it takes them 2 or 3 stutter steps to turn that up. And that's where you see that defender that's pursuing from the backside able to make that tackle. But Achane is able to see that at full speed, able to keep pressing that outside to help that blocker on the edge to keep widening it out. And then at the last minute, just plant that foot and get upfield again without losing any speed at all.
All right, here we go over to the very next play. All right, we are in 21 fast 21 personnel, basically 21 personnel and a shotgun type of formation. So, Eric, what is the double right snug SHIT call?
Yeah, so the double right is the formation. It's a 2-by-2 formation.
Two.
So for the fast 21, so that's 21 personnel, so 2 backs, 1 tight end. But the fast 21 is 2 running backs. So you have Mostert in the backfield there, and you have Achane at the wing on the left, and he is your F player in this formation, right? And then your double right is your formation. The snug, like we talked about earlier, brings it in tighter. And then the shit motion is that motion that, was kind of made famous this past season with Tyreek, but we see Achane running that here, and we're just getting a slant wheel look out of it. Just using that motion to get him on the run at the snap and make it difficult for the defense to adjust.
Right. The variation of the motion, it can either be shit or short as well. I don't know why it's called that, but it's called the short motion, short exit motion. That it should be sheet,
Right.
short exit motion. That's what it should be labeled as. And as you see it with the motion right here, He's going to motion out right at the snap, and we'll stop it. Look at how this defender hesitates right here. He's coming into blitz, hesitates a little bit. You have open space for Achane right here. But as you said, it's a slant wheel route.
Yeah. I think
Couldn't make the catch.
I think a big part of the reason for that hesitation there is the play that we showed earlier, right? That could easily be the same look as a cracked toss right here, where that
Right.
receiver is blocking down on that edge defender.
But he
Achane's
goes
getting
out.
out as the lead blocker, and we're tossing it to Mostert. So, again, just something that looks really similar that gives the defense other things they need to consider. I think just the confidence that Tua had. I mean, I know this pass was incomplete, right? But this isn't the first time that he would have thrown a back shoulder pass to Achane. It's something they've done before, and it just shows Achane's maturity as a receiver that that's even a valid option for somebody like that.
Right. All right, this next play right here, we are in 22 personnel, single back look. The F player on this play is going to be Julian Hill. And where is he? He's right here.
Yep, you got
Here he is.
Chosen at the wing there, and Hill
Oh,
is more
yeah,
the
out to
slot.
the outside. The formation is double right slash. So it's going to be a 2x2 look here. And slash, I do not know what the terminology is. Do you know what the terminology is for slash?
I forget what the slash part of that meant. Double right would be your formation, and then slash is some sort of extra tag to it. It may have to do with that may be why Chosen and Julian Hill are swapped.
Right. Okay. And then Fox, which is at the end, the Fox terminology is basically for the F, Fox, to basically come out to across the formation. He's basically going to come across the formation right here. And we'll go ahead and run the clip motion-wise. There you go. He's coming across. Again, snap right there. And it's going to be an outside zone run, basically over to the right hand side of the formation. Go ahead and run the play. Big hole opens up, big hole, and you got to take a look and appreciate this blocking right here over by, I believe that's Robert Hunt and Durham Smythe, how they're all able to open the hole, along with Austin Jackson. They're able to get up to the second level, hold the linebackers and defenders just to open up that hole for De'Von Achane to basically use his speed and burst through. He's able to break basically one tackle right here, but not enough. We know, he's a short running back, really, really fast, but because of how his body is built, he's very dense where he's able to bounce off of these defenders and gain some extra yards. But I would like to see him power through more or break through arm tackles a little bit more to gain that extra yardage.
Yeah, and so I was actually just watching a clinic on outside zone yesterday that had a lot of good information with the running backs. And if you watch when these running backs are running outside zone, so from the stuff that I was watching last night, the way that a lot of teams coach it is that they're getting on that track towards the tight end, straight line to the tight end no matter what. And they are taking 5 steps in that exact path, straight line no matter what. And you can see how that benefits Achane on this one, because if he had made a decision as soon as he got that ball, you can see right off the snap that Durham Smythe has the edge on the defensive end, right? And a back who is younger, well, not younger because Achane is really young, but a back who is less experienced may see this right now and start to go outside with it. But the discipline that Achane has with his, footwork and his vision, when he gets to that 5th step, at that
He's got a
point,
straight
he
line
is
right
outside
here.
of that block. He can see the Austin Jackson block developing, and that's where he knows that he can plant that foot in the ground and get north and south. And I think that's, again, the vision is something that separates him from a lot of young backs right now.
And that's really, really good because you want your young back who doesn't have that much experience to actually, make an impact in the backfield where he's able to, be another additional weapon for your passing or even running offense as well. This next play is 11 personnel. and it's basically going to be a crack toss. As we mentioned, the Fox, what it tells you, the Fox, is that it tells the F positional player to come across the motion. And I believe the motion man is either okay, this looks like it is River Craycraft. It looks like Durham Smythe is right here. So the F motion man is going to be River Craycraft. So he's just basically going to come across the formation. The next thing is the zoo call, which also tells the Z to come across the formation as well. So you have two people coming across the formation. You see, Cedric Wilson is the Z in this case. So you have River Craycraft as the F, Cedric Wilson as the Z. Both of them are going to come across the formation. And basically, what's going to happen is that when Cedric Wilson moves over, they're going to have an additional blocker on the left side of the ball where they're able to run the crack toss. Boom.
And so same idea on this one. When you look at the formation that they had from the beginning, it was a 3-by-1 formation from the beginning. You're going to have another receiver that's outside to the right there that's on the line of scrimmage that we can't see. So we're starting a 3-by-1 formation to the right. And the Ravens have that extra defender to the right side. And then because of the Fox Zoo combination motion, they're basically flipping the formation to be a 3-by-1 formation the other way. And then you see the same thing, right? Outside zone again, getting on that track. And this time there's not, the cutback isn't as early, so you can see Achane, continuing to take that a little further outside before bending it back in.
Right. He's able to take it outside to gain that leverage on these defenders right here who should be able to close in on him, and then goes right up inside to gain that extra yardage. He didn't have enough space to get even more out. And if you think about it, if he were to get even more out, you could have this player closing in, but he's trying to get that angle to get upfield. If he were to come out to the outside, this safety right here would be able to hone in and zoom in, and there's still not a lot of space for Cedric Wilson to block and allow De'Von Achane to have even a sliver of space right near the sideline where the safety won't even be able to make a tackle on him, which could have been a touchdown. So that was really good vision by De'Von Achane and really good decision-making on this run right here. All right, Eric, take it away.
All right, so we're in 21 personnel again, but it's regular 21 because we have Alec Ingold in there as the second running back. We got Achane in the backfield and kind of a sidecar look. So I don't have the formation listed for this one, but the motion is called hump. And what the hump motion is going to do is it's going to basically the Achane, the halfback, is going to go into a bump motion to the right, and the hump part of it is telling him that he is then coming back in a jet motion.
3:30.
All right, so here we go. We'll go ahead and run the play. There's the hump motion right there, which basically tells Achane or any running back to bump motion. You're going to basically hump to a jet. It is going to be like a jet, like a half jet fly or a half jet sweep right there as well. We'll go ahead and run the play right here one more time. And he comes right back like that jet motion.
Yep. And the defensive end just does a really good job of playing this one.
Yeah, like he sniffs this out, he reads this out. There's really nothing much for De'Von Achane to do right here. He can't really get around. He does try to get around, but the defenders are basically closing in on here. Dead play, not. It was a good formation, good idea. Just the defense was able to sniff this play right out. All right, this next one right here is 11 personnel. So let me go ahead, type in 11 personnel. So this is 11 personnel right here up against the Buffalo Bills. What we're going to have is that it's a single back look, which basically means you have one halfbacker, one running back right there. The F motion player on this play, I believe, is going to be Braxton Berrios. Let me take a look.
I think Barrios is the F player, but the motion is actually going to be. I wasn't sure whether. I think it's
He's
Claypool that
Claypool.
comes in motion. He's either the X or the Z, coming in a
Okay.
delta motion.
Interesting. And what is a delta motion right here?
So it's a jet motion,
Okay.
and Mike McDaniel uses different airlines for the different types of jet motion. So you've got Delta, you have Virgin, you have Spirit, and those are all linked to a different player who would be going in that jet motion.
Interesting. And do they have oh, well, actually, their names don't even match up with their first names either, so we have
No,
no
I
idea.
couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't find any correlation there. But some, I mean, I'm sure that each position knows which one is specific to them.
Right. It's going to be another crack toss right here. As you can see, the motion man is Claypool, hesitates the linebackers, and you get the crack toss right here. All right, we're going to see two holds, Eric. I mean, we played the clip already, so we know which hole
I didn't see any
De'Von Achane
flags.
is going into. But you got two holes right here.
Yeah, so this is actually more of an outside zone than a crack toss because there is no player
Oh,
blocking
okay.
down. They're all just blocking out. But again, like we talked about earlier with that path, right? Achane is going to take that same path the whole way. You get a little bit of a hook by Robert Hunt there, but you see that, you see a lot of players doing that. And because of how quickly that happens, like it's very effective on number 98 there, but it's just enough that it's not going to get called. But you can see Achane trying to stay on that path. He does have to get off of it a little bit here.
Right.
But then you've got the outside leverage by the edge defender there. So Achane's going to cut this up inside where the other ones he took a little further outside. And again, I love this clip and I hate it at the same time because this is an amazing cut, but it is also Jordan Poyer, who is the
Now a Miami Dolphin.
yeah. So I love the play, but hate it being a current Dolphin that's on the other end of that.
I mean, you also got to take a look. You have two holes right here. Achane's like, okay, maybe I can cut back right here and get an angle up against this defensive lineman and this linebacker, but it doesn't make any sense because he can wrap him up. What he can do is, and what Robert Hunt, as you basically just stated, he hooks him, gets him basically out of the play, and it's just one other defender he has to beat. But you have Liam Eichenberg up at the second level. He's able to take him on. Braxton Berrios is taking this defender on. Durham Smythe and Austin Jackson have basically locked onto their man. Again, we talk about vision being probably one of the most important traits for a running back, and I think this play and this clip right here does an excellent job of displaying Achane's patience, his ability to hit the hole, the correct hole, and able to burst through it and gain some speed and gain some yards right after it.
Yep. And this also, when we talk about chemistry, right, we talk about how many times they've repped this in practice. And when you see a play like that,
they're
like
looking for work. You have to look for work.
Well, Achane has been coached over and over again to stay on that path the whole way. And Robert Hunt knows that as well. Robert Hunt knows that he's not going to be, or he shouldn't be looking to cut back that early. So even though Robert Hunt is kind of getting beat there, he knows that, he doesn't want to keep pressing that player outside because that's going to press him right into that path that they've been coaching Achane to go into. So he knows by giving him that little hook, right, he knows he's not going to have Achane cutting back into it. And that, by doing that is giving just enough to let Achane get back onto his path.
All right, next play. And this is where we more so get into the passing game right here with De'Von Achane. So this is going to be 11 personnel once again. And the motion out here, we talked about I believe in the last episode called the HOR motion or the HOR out.
HOR. Yep.
Yeah, HOR. HOR, not the other one. Again, you're in a single back look as well. And once again, it's a HOR, HOR, out motion. Go ahead, put it up so you guys can see. for yourself. So what happens is that the whore or the haul, they're basically a motion for the running back or halfback to motion out into a wide receiver look. So he could be motioning out right here all the way to the outside right here. And I believe, where is it? There we go. You basically empty out everybody. Shotgun formation, shotgun empty formation right here. I'll go ahead and stop the clip right here. So obviously, Tua is not really looking at Achane's way right here. And I think this could be a corner flag concept, but I need to take a look. No, it's not a corner flag because Cedric is basically just running a 9 route right here.
Yeah, so one of the things that I liked about this, and the reason I included this clip, was that when you watch Achane go into motion out there, right, look who's inside of him. Right now it's Durham Smythe. In 2024, that's going to be Janu Smith, right?
Right.
So when Achane motions out, you then have to make a decision. Are you going to send a linebacker out with Achane, or are you going to leave a linebacker inside with Janu Smith? And I think that, having that combination is going to create some more one-on-one opportunities that somebody is going to have a mismatch out there.
Right. You have basically the nickel moving over to the outside, and you have Trayvon. I think this is Trayvon Diggs right here, basically matched up with Durham Smythe. We'll go ahead and run the play. They're basically blocking right here. So this defender can basically roam around the field and do what he wants, what he needs to do. And what happens is that if this were Jonnu Smith and if he were not blocking, there's a lot of different areas, there's a lot of different steps and a lot of different concepts that you could pull out into this concept itself. One, you could basically have Jonnu running in a slant right here or an in route to get that middle of the field occupied and potentially have De'Von Achane run that post. You could have this safety come down here along with this nickel back, basically nickel defender right here to close off this middle of the field, which we know this offense throws a lot to the middle of the field. And Tua is one of the best middle of the field throwers in the NFL. Then you could have basically De'Von Achane working his way over to the top with his speed and potentially get a touchdown. You can keep these concepts the same right here. Just change these two concepts on the side. Like you can take a look at this coverage. This safety is basically moving over here. There's no one here on the middle of the field. But if Jonnu was coming inside, right? If it was Jonnu right now, it's Durham Smythe. If they were coming inside, you have De'Von Achane and this defensive back one-on-one. If it's a one-on-one matchup and my guy is De'Von Achane with his speed, he's got to win 90% of the time. Now, his route running or his footwork as a wide receiver may not be on that skill level of like a Jalen Waddle or a Tyreek Hill, where he's able to create that separation just based off of his footwork. Not just yet, but I do think they're working with him on this. And we've heard a little bit out of minicamp that he's been working a lot with the wide receiver group, basically on his release packages, his separation against defensive backs as well, and his route running. So this is, one play, one area where he's got to be improving on, and this is just going to expand the offense's playbook much, much wider. All right, we got this next clip in, Eric.
Yep, so we are back into that fast 21 personnel. I think it's Jeff Wilson in the backfield on this one. We got Achane in the wing or slot position on the left side there. So this is some sort of doubles formation because they're 2x2. And then we're going to get, so the motion here is virgin. So that's your H motion. And because it's an airline motion, it's going to be a jet motion away from the play.
A lot of fun words that Mike McDaniel likes to put in, throw a lot of people off. So one more time, it's Fast 21. The personnel is Fast 21 wing. The F, or I believe the motion man, is going to be De'Von Achane, which he's right here. This is the F. And what's going to happen is that it's going to be a virgin motion, basically like another version of the jet motion. And we'll go ahead and run the clip. There it is. To Jeff Wilson is basically a run. Now, how does this play set up for the pass? You fake. What you can do is you can fake the run so that everyone's seeing the run. But does this give enough time for a guy like De'Von Achane to basically run a wheel from the motion? Does this give him enough space?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly can. I think one of the things that it does here, I mean, I know that the run play does not end up very big because Eichenberg does not get a great block here. But if you watch that defender that is on the hash mark there, right? Yep,
One?
him right there. Watch him when Achane goes into motion. Right, he is going to start to follow him out there, and the result of that, by putting that motion there, is that that lineman who's got his head kind of poking out of the line right there is Lester Cotton. Up a little, he's right on the hash mark also.
Okay, right here. Yep.
Yep. So that's Lester Cotton. So by doing that, that motion gives Cotton a chance. I mean, not that he does a great job of getting there, right? But without that motion, that linebacker does not move outside at all, and Lester Cotton probably doesn't even touch him on the way out there. So just the threat of having Achane going into that jet motion creates better blocking angles for linemen.
Right. Right. And I think if this was a pass play, I think Cotton is well beyond 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. So I think if this was an actual pass play, this would be called back for a penalty. I forgot what the penalty's name was.
Illegal man
Probably
downfield. It's about
an
2
illegible
yards
man
downfield is what they're allowed to get.
2 yards downfield. 1, 2,
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, around roughly. Okay, let's head over back. Here we go. Same game, and I like the fact that you pulled a lot from this Dallas game right here because these are really, really good defenders from a different conference as well. They had a really good pass defense, really good pass defensive concepts from Dan Quinn as well, which basically has a mix of Fangio and Flores style of defenses, which Tua has seen before, and Mike McDaniel has had some success with when he was with the 49ers and now with the Miami Dolphins. So what is this personnel?
So we are in 21 personnel. It's just regular 21 because you have Alec Ingold. He's split out wide right now. We're in some sort of doubles formation because you've got your 2x2 formations, and then your motion that you're going to get here is going to be Fox, which is going to get Alec Ingold motioning from where he is into the play, and the play is going to be it's just a play action where they're giving a outside zone right look.
There it is.
And again, when you watch, like, Achane is not even touching the ball here, but he is creating for others. Watch what that safety that's walking up. Watch what that linebacker does.
These two right here.
The safety towards the top, right in the middle of the logo, in that linebacker. Right, yep, in the linebacker right in front of him. Watch what they do when they show that motion in the outside zone. Right,
they come down.
They come down, and watch where the pass goes. Watch where the pass goes right after this.
Right down the middle, right here.
Right there. So, this is stuff that Achane does. Like, I don't think that Achane's ever going to be a huge volume guy. I don't think he's really built for that. But when you look at some of the stuff that he can do without even touching the ball, he's creating opportunities for others
He
just
can act like a
because
decoy, basically.
that's exactly what it is. But it is opportunities that he is creating without even touching the ball. So he's not, there's not wear put on his body, there's not extra hits that he's taking, but yet he is still impacting the play just because he's on the field.
Right. All right. This next play, I believe, is also no. This is 11 personnel right here. Let me go ahead redo it. 11 personnel. You are in a 3-by-1 look, and the F man is Braxton Berrios. So on this play and this formation right here, it looks like it's going to be an outside. No, we already talked about the outside zone play action pass. This is actually going to be a stutter wheel route right here, and we'll go ahead and run the play. He basically just gets out. He looks like when he does with his footwork, it looks like he's going to be running potentially a Texas route, but he stutters right there with his footwork, and he catches this defensive back with his hips, while hips moving over to the basically left or the inside, and he's trying to gain that leverage on the outside as well. So he just basically kind of hesitates on the stutter, and Achane basically runs this wheel, but the ball pretty much came up short here.
Again, I think that was a back
pretty much
short. I think that was intentional that was thrown to the backside there because he really doesn't have, he doesn't have position to run by the defender. Maybe if Tua had more time, he'd have laid that out more. But I do think that throw was intended to be a back shoulder type throw.
All right, let's run it one more time with the stutter wheel. Huh. Do you think he was his primary read right there?
I think he was probably. Let's see one more time.
Oh, yeah. Let me run it one more time. I'll go ahead and pause it as well, where he's taking a look.
Let's go a little further.
He's reading the leverage.
Yeah, he's reading that side.
You can tell right here, Hill does it. Hill's basically double covered right here, so that's a no-go throw for him right there.
So yeah, I think probably what he would have been reading here would have been that safety, who's right in front of Tyreek Hill right now. Had that safety played with more outside leverage, probably would have been looking to hit
It's basically
Hill
an
on that
umbrella
in-break
coverage
route.
right here. It's basically an umbrella coverage right here, where they're trying to cover that post.
So yeah, I mean, I do think that based on what that safety did, I think that Achane turned into the first option on that, and just because of the pressure that was coming, there either wasn't enough opportunity to let that develop into the deeper route that they were looking to get, or Achane just read it differently than what Tua did, and wasn't looking for that back shoulder throw.
All right, this next play for you, Eric, looks like empty formation right here.
Yeah, so we are in 11 personnel again. We got Achane lined up at the bottom of the screen as a wide receiver. So your F player in this formation will be Berrios. I don't think we have any motion here, and this is it's an incomplete pass as the result of the play that we're going to get. But this was included because it's just another way that they tried to use Achane in 2023, and something I think they're going to continue to do in 2024. Because again, you got to go at that kind of speed, especially with the linebacker getting matched up out there, and that linebacker is going to be so worried about getting beat deep. He's going to give that cushion, and that's going to give this this out route every single time. This is just easy money that, we get a little better throw there. The route wasn't the greatest by Achane.
No.
Maybe should have been a little sharper on the cut. But, now that the Dolphins know that this is the kind of stuff that they want to use Achane in, hopefully the offseason has been used to clean up some of that stuff, and we'll see that chemistry between Tua and Achane. Because I feel like just in the clips we've had today, we've seen a couple of instances where the chemistry just wasn't the same between Tua and Achane as we see with Waddle and Hill. And I think that both of those guys will continue to improve that aspect, and that hopefully when we see this type of look in 2024, this is just an automatic first down almost every time.
Yeah, like this is an automatic first down and basically a second and short or maybe a third and short play. You're out and empty. You're trying to make your way towards the goal line. This is maybe third and short, third and one, third and two, quick out route, boom. And you mentioned it because of his speed, the threat to go deep is always there. And he's got a lot of separation, man. He's got a lot of separation. Like he doesn't even get hands on him. And that's the good thing. Like you can't. I mean, you can play press against Achane. Like it's going to be hard. Like we've seen how these Dolphins receivers and running backs how they handled press last season, and it wasn't successful. But if you're going out quick like that, and with the threat of your speed, if you don't have hands on him, that's a quick 3, 4, 5 yards that you need for a potential first down on third and one, third and two, or second and four, second and five, whatever. And I think these types of routes, these are automatically built in for a guy like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Like you can tell, like a route like this, Tyreek Hill is able to run with ease, with effort around the same or exact same speed as well. Like we've seen this type of throw to the end zone to Tyreek Hill a couple times before, and he scored. So he's thinking with A-chain speed, I can throw it the exact same spot, but he needs to build that chemistry. Tua and Achane need to build that chemistry. They need to create that repetition throughout training camp and through preseason and through the first couple weeks of the season to get a feel of what A-chain spots are, where can Tua throw it as well, where is the first down going to be at. And if there's that much separation, you should try and attempt to throw it there because that's an automatic first down. That gives you another weapon outside of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in the passing game. All right, and I believe this is the very last clip right here.
Yep. So again, in 11 personnel here, we have HN lined up at the wing towards the bottom of the screen there. I think that Barrios is your F player in this formation. And the motion that we're going to get here is an H orbit. So that's going to be HN going in an orbit motion. And he's going to run a swing route. But it's going to be more of a decoy. And we're going to see how that opens things up on the other side there, right? Watch number 14 and watch how he's dropping because he's got eyes on Achane going in that swing motion, and you can see how that pass is going to get thrown right behind him. He's got his shoulders turned away from it, right? 14 is turning towards Achane right now. Yep, right there. And you can see how that opens things up, right? If that player had still been dropping back with his shoulders square, maybe he's got a chance at impacting that throw. But right there, Tua knows that he can throw it right behind that guy, and there's no way that he's going to turn around and make that play, right? So it's an easy completion, and then Tyreek is
what
just
a
Tyreek
right in the bread basket. Sheesh.
Right. So this is again, right? HN is not touching the ball. HN is not taking a hit, and yet
he's
HN is still impacting the play and opening things up for other guys.
Right, and in this pass play right here, if it was covered, that's an easy built-in swing pass. And look at all this grass, dude. Look at all this grass. The first down marker is right here. The first down marker is right there. He's able to get at least 8 to 9 yards before anybody is able to touch him. And we got to talk about his fantasy impact, man. Especially if you guys out there play a lot of fantasy football. Last season, nobody drafted De'Von Achane, but I picked him up in the waiver wires week 2. That third week, they played the Denver Broncos, and I had started De'Von Achane, and you guys would have guessed my reaction. I was elated. I was ecstatic. And De'Von Achane is basically climbing up the boards in fantasy rankings because of his usage. He's able to get yards on the ground with limited touches, and with him working this training camp with the wide receivers and learning a little bit more with the passing concepts, there were a lot of concepts that they used with De'Von Achane in the pass game during training camp that never actually came into the season because of some injuries and to De'Von Achane. And I don't think that he grasped or fully understood all of the options, the checks, and the routes that they had to do, especially during his rookie season. He was primarily used as a decoy, Eric, which opened up things for Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and it should help to open up things for Jonnu Smith and even Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, I mean, so personally, I mean, I play fantasy, but I don't get too crazy about it. But from a fantasy perspective, I would tell you to slow your roll a little bit on HN. I do think he's going to be productive. I think that his per touch, production is going to be very good, but I just don't see him as a high volume guy. I think Omar Kelly said more of a 60-40 split between Mostert and HN, and I don't think it's going to be that. I think that Mostert is still going to get a higher percentage of that. I can see Jalen Wright actually getting more carries from the backfield than what HN does, right? But then I see HN being able to be used in the backfield, right? He's going to get carries in the backfield, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to a 50-50 split with Mostert. But he's also going to be used in those F positions, right? Whether it's a wing, whether it's split out, whether it's
Right.
a slot that's coming in the jet motion. There's a lot of different ways that he can be used. He's going to get catches, right? But he's not going to be a 70, 80 catch guy on the season. He's not going to be a 200 carry guy on the season. So I think that, as a flex type player, I think that he is going to produce at a pretty good level, but I don't think that he's going to get the volume to take him to, the top tier of running backs.
Right. Maybe not a big fantasy breakout, but I do definitely project a big breakout season for Achane to have a much bigger role and a much bigger impact, specifically in the passing game, where he's able to delve a little bit more into the playbook and him being used in a variety of different ways. All right, Eric, great show, and everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. Stick right here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Stick with us on the Scouting Combine, along with the 3 Yards Per Carry podcast and the Pulse of Fins Nation. All your Dolphins coverage here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. As always, go Fins.
See you guys next week.